Advisory. Some episodes of the 1836 podcast are not intended for all audiences due to details that might be considered disturbing. Listener and viewer discretion is advised.
This episode of the 1836 podcast uncovers the story of the Carnival Mafia murders.
About what led up to the killing of two carnival vendors from Wichita. Sonny and Pauline Carpenter were found dead in Arkansas, buried in a shallow grave.
Today we obtained a new report where the suspects say they were trying to get into a carnival mafia.
In the sweltering summer of 2018, a sinister plot ignited at a Kansas County fair. From there, its dark threads unraveled all the way to Arkansas's rugged Ozark hills. Alfred and Pauline Carpenter, an elderly Wichita couple, were beloved for their crafts. Sonny Carpenter, 78, and Pauline, 76, were carnival fixtures. Married over 50 years, they traveled the Midwest in a camper filled with handmade treasures. Sonny, a retired mechanic, whittled wooden figurines with a quick smile. Pauline's needlework produced intricate purses and jewelry that drew fairgoers. Their carnival booth always burst with color, and to fellow carnies they were kind, unassuming grandparents. The carnival world attracts many wandering drifters. 5 fellow carnival workers' lives would soon collide fatally with the Carpenters. Michael Fowler Jr., 54, from Sarasota, Florida, was a grizzled handyman looking for opportunity. Rusty Frazier, 35, from Aransas Pass, Texas, was a restless follower with a petty rap sheet. Christine Tenney, 38, from Santa Fe, Texas, was a quiet, struggling single mother. Kimberly Younger, 52, from McIntosh, Florida, was charismatic, spinning tales of a glamorous past. And Thomas Drake, 31, from Van Buren, Arkansas, was a soft-spoken odd jobber. While touring from county fair to county fair, whispers of a carnival mafia spread among them. Cryptic texts, signed by Frank Zychik, promised potential members of the group power through a secret syndicate. Kimberly Younger fueled the myth, claiming ties to its inner circle. The text demanded loyalty and a brutal initiation. Michael Fowler, seeking purpose, believed. Rusty Frazier, craving respect, followed. Christine Tenney, fearful, felt trapped. And Thomas Drake lingered on the edges. The mysterious text and Facebook messages named Sonny and Pauline Carpenter as the targets, claiming their camper was ripe with cash. Carrying out these orders would seal their Carnival Mafia acceptance. On a humid July night, the Barton County Fair's lights dimmed. Fowler and Frazier crept toward the Carpenter's camper. Sonny, awakened, fought but was shot and stabbed to death. Pauline was shot in her bed, defenseless. The robbery yielded little, only a small amount of cash and trinkets. Kimberly Younger urged escape to Arkansas's Ozark National Forest. They drove over 300 miles, bringing the Carpenter's camper along with them. In Crawford County's dense woods, they buried Sonny and Pauline's bodies in shallow graves in a creek bed under a mattress. Not long after, Christine Tenney was guilt-ridden and confessed to her sister in Texas. The sister then called the Van Buren Police Department, which sparked action. Police soon raided a Van Buren apartment, finding the suspects in the camper full of blood and bullet holes.
We're learning more about a couple found dead in the River Valley earlier this week and the people arrested in that case. 2 bodies were discovered in a wooded area in Van Buren on Wednesday. They were found underneath a mattress in a shallow grave. Investigators say they're Sonny and Pauline Carpenter from Wichita, Kansas. They traveled to fairs to sell knickknacks. Their last known location, a fair in Great Bend, Kansas.
The investigation revealed that no Carnival Mafia actually existed. Kimberly Younger, using a burner phone and fake Facebook account, had posed as the mysterious Frank Zaitchik. Younger's greed and desire for control had fooled the others, lured them in, and drove the murders. The real Frank Zaitchik, a Michigan carnival owner, was stunned that his name had been used.
This 70-page incident report details the moment police discovered that one female suspect manipulated her colleagues into believing she was someone else and ordered the hit of an elderly couple, Alfred and Pauline Carpenter. But it was only through aggressive questioning that police discovered that Kimberly Younger ordered the double homicide, posing as a fictional character, Frank Zaitchik. According to the report, Younger had a Facebook account with that name and was delivering orders through text messages to Michael Fowler, the man who admitted to pulling the trigger on that couple. When police asked him why, Fowler said it was all to get into the Carnival Mafia family. The entire time police were questioning Fowler, she was also going by a different pseudonym, Myrna Khan. Police later found that 9mm handgun they believed to be the murder weapon.
The Van Buren police acted fast. Crawford County deputies scoured the forest, finding the graves, and the Arkansas State Police processed the scenes. All 5 carnival workers were arrested, but ultimately, the charges in the state of Arkansas were dropped.
The Carnival Mafia, accused of burying 2 bodies in Van Buren, is making headlines again as the state of Arkansas revises charges against the suspects.
In July, we reported a double homicide of an elderly couple in Kansas whose bodies were then buried in a shallow grave under a mattress in Crawford County. Court records show that in the state of Arkansas, charges against the 4 people involved in the killing have been dropped. Police reports say Younger posed as a member of a Carnival Mafia online under the pseudonym Frank Zaitchik and ordered the theft of the couple's camper and their murders as an initiation into the mafia. Now, court records state that as of December 19th, an Arkansas judge dismissed all charges. All four are being held in a Kansas jail, and all but 10 are being charged with capital murder in the state of Kansas.
In the state of Kansas, Christine Tenney played a lesser role in the murders, assisting after the fact by helping to hide the Carpenters' bodies in Arkansas. Tenney received a sentence of nearly 6 years for aggravated robbery and an additional 8 months for obstructing apprehension. Her sister's tip to the police was instrumental in leading to the suspect's arrests, and her lighter sentence reflected her peripheral involvement. Michael Fowler Jr. was a key participant in the murders, directly responsible for shooting Alfred and Pauline Carpenter. Fowler received 2 consecutive hard 50 life sentences, meaning he must serve at least 50 years without parole for each murder count, plus a concurrent 21-month term for theft. His sentence was affirmed by the Kansas Supreme Court in 2022. Rusty Lee Frazier was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder, specifically for stabbing Alfred Carpenter during the attack. Like Fowler, he was manipulated by Younger's fabricated Carnival Mafia scheme. Frazier was sentenced in 2020 to life in prison without the possibility of parole for 50 years on each count, with the sentences to run consecutively, effectively ensuring a minimum of 100 years without parole. Kimberly Younger, also known by aliases such as Myrna Khan, Jenna Roberts, and Tiffany Jones, was the mastermind behind the Carnival Mafia murders. She was convicted of capital murder, conspiracy to commit murder in the first degree, solicitation to commit murder in the first degree, and theft. She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, and her conviction was upheld by the Kansas Supreme Court in 2024. Specific details about the outcome of Thomas Drake's role are limited, though he was among those extradited to Kansas to face charges. The motive appears to have been a mix of robbery and the perpetrator's belief in the fake Carnival Mafia, with the Carpenters targeted due to their vulnerability. Some suspects attempted appeals, but as of this episode, none have succeeded. The Arkansas Ozarks exposed the lie. Van Buren's swift response and Crawford County's diligence ensured justice. The Carnival Mafia murders, driven by a fabricated conspiracy and greed, left a tragic mark on the carnival community. Justice was served with life sentences for the primary perpetrators, ensuring they face the consequences of their heinous acts. The case stands as a grim reminder of the devastating impact of manipulation and delusion.